I have something to say about what you are about to hear from CNN. I guess, was it last night? 7/11. Yes, today is 7/12, so okay, that works. And I'll tell you in advance what I want you to understand about this. It's a profound intellectual dishonesty that takes place on CNN and other left-wing media, and I see. I don't mind if they're left. I don't mind it. I mind if they deny it. I've always said this. If a university said, "Look, we are here to advance left-wing ideas," okay. Parents know this is what you're paying your money for. It's when they lie to you that they want to open your child's minds. That's a grand, gigantic lie. So what bothers me is when they have pseudo-Republicans on and the catch-all phrase is strategist. But somehow CNN finds all these Republican strategists who loathe President Trump as much as the most hardened Democrat. And then they say, look, we have both sides. Now, is that honest? I don't think so. So here is the guy I never heard of before. This is a guy, Rick Wilson, and what he has to say is truly loathsome. It's just mean-spirited, aside from intellectually vapid. But this is how they introduce. We're going to have now a Democrat and a Republican to discuss the president and immigration. Listen, this is CNN last night.
Reporting and for being there with them in that moment and bringing that to us. With me now, Joe Trippi, CNN political commentator and a Democratic strategist, as well as Republican strategist Rick Wilson. Gentlemen, nice to have you both here. A lot to get to, but let's just start on immigration.
Now, by the way, before we continue, you understand the implication. You're going to get a Republican argument and a Democrat argument, correct? That is the implication. But it's a fraud. I don't understand why does CNN, when they do this, why do they think they'll get away with it? I have been on CNN many times. There are some wonderful people there. I don't understand what your thinking is. Do you not understand you make yourself look foolish when you do this? You think we're that stupid? You label a person a Republican, he craps on the president, and the Democrat craps on the president, and now you say, look, we've brought to you both sides. Who do you think you're fooling? Or better, whom do you think you're fooling? There must be someone from CNN listening right now. Well, that's probably not true. There may be no one from CNN who listens to talk radio. God forbid they should hear a different point of view, because they certainly don't hear it on CNN. So this fraud of an introduction. We're going to give you a Democrat and a Republican. So here's the Republican strategist, Rick Wilson. Go ahead.
Rick Wilson, to you. Look, and people should know you were a strategist with Giuliani way back in the day, and you look at how other Republican administrations have handled this issue, and choosing not to do these mass separations, right? There were some under the Bush and the Obama administration. How does
wait. Excuse me. This is the second time I heard this question. I don't understand the question. They chose not to? What does that mean? This is an open question. I'm not arguing with the woman. I want to understand what that means. In other words, obviously, there were separations, but sometimes there weren't. That's her way of getting around the fact that this never started with Donald Trump. Continue, please.
Under the Bush and the Obama administration, how does the administration fight the optics on this? Because policy-wise and practice-wise, they're back to catch and release. But do pictures like Rosa just showed us of this little boy being reunited with his father after 43 days, will those haunt this administration?
Well, I think the pictures of the cruelty of this administration are a very deliberate part of this. They're a feature, not a bug, of the Trump administration.
Okay, you
policy.
hear that? You hear that?
And
wait. That's mind-blowing. Cruelty is a feature of this administration, and it appeals to them. So they actually like pictures. This is the sick mind of this sick man on CNN. It's a sick mind. It's a mean man. This is very rare. I use that term to describe a human being because his inability to even believe that the other side may actually be animated by something noble is not possible. It's just not possible. By the way, I believe that there are people on the left who think that they're animated by noble ends. I don't believe that they revel in cruelty. I think there's a massive amount of cruelty on the left, but I don't think they revel in it. I wouldn't say this about the left, and I think the left is destroying Western civilization. But I think I say this almost every day. Nice people are destroying. Not all people on the left are nice by any means. A lot of them are mean, but a lot aren't. But this notion that the administration likes cruelty, they like separating children from parents, so they want these pictures out. Do you understand? That's sick stuff that CNN viewers are getting in the guise of a Republican strategist. Continue, please.
They're a feature, not a bug, of the Trump administration's policy. And so I think that we're in a situation where no one inside the administration is unhappy about these things because they're only talking to their base. They're only talking to their core supporters. And their core supporters, want anybody who's darker than a latte deported.
Okay, so I am a core supporter, Rick Wilson, and you are charging me with pure racism. I want everyone darker than a latte deported. And he is brought on as the Republican strategist. Do you understand? It's a fraud. Even if you're on the left and you have intellectual honesty, do you not understand that? If Fox News brought on a Democrat who defended the president, you would say, well, then what's the point of bringing a Democrat? You might as well have a Republican. I mean, let's be honest here. When Sean Hannity has Democrats on, as far as I'm concerned, they're Democrats. They actually take the Democratic Party's position. The base wants anyone darker than a latte deported. I looked up Rick Wilson, never heard of the man in my life. Listen to this from Wikipedia, and which is what it is, but at least it has a citation. So listen to this. Wilson became known during the 2016 United States presidential election. And by the way, forgive me, there will be 2 words here that are allowed on radio, but just want you to know, if you have a little kid listening, they're not my favorite words, but I have no choice. Otherwise, you can't understand how low this man is. And this is what is featured on CNN. Okay? For his denunciations of Donald Trump and supporters of Trump. Examples include asking Ann Coulter via Twitter if Trump, quote, pays more for anal. And on MSNBC, referring to Trump's alt-right supporters as, quote, childless single men who masturbate to anime. This is the level of lowlife that CNN puts on as a Republican. Just want you to know. Okay? This says much more about CNN than it does about Rick Wilson. Rick Wilson is just filthy. But for CNN to offer him as a Republican strategist, and therefore you're going to get both sides, that's not acceptable.